So inviting you to groove with yourself and us. I like that song because you can pick how you want to groove. You know, you can glide like a 747, or you can boogie on down. So, why am I offering? What is community weaving? Why did I excited to do it, be doing it? Because I wanted so much to share the power, the gift of moving past all of the internal and particularly external invitations to be separate, to be afraid. I'm particularly aware of what happens when we're in these fake safe silos, because what looks like competence is fragility. Because in there, maybe you got one or two other people, or maybe you got people in there that y'all get in your silos, in the big silos, and we're gonna be safe in the big silos while staying in our little silos. I wanted to bring this offering from folks that, like my grandfather, that my grandmother taught him how to read and write in the teens, in the 19 teens. And because she taught him how to read and write, he was able to get a good government job and feed electricity to the other folks in the house, in the neighborhood, via extension cords. That's the gift, right? Yeah. We're not meant to be alone. But there's another thing that happens when we stay in silos. There's no opportunities for discernment.
Mm-hmm.
Because discernment only happens through connection. So now, if I don't have discernment, now I'm going to ask that you create a safe space for me. Okay. I need things to be a certain way because, I can't be with things that don't suit me. And so instead of growing into discernment, and of course, discernment means trusting myself, right? So I don't learn to trust myself because I'm not rubbing up against anything. So how can I have a practice that I don't trust myself? Well, I guess I can try to rearrange stuff. Because if I don't trust myself, then I'm going to be suspicious. And I'm going to look to see what's wrong. And I'm going to develop longer and longer lists. And wait for you not to check off a box. So I can support the illusion of what I called smart in my silo. I have known some people years and never been invited to their house. And having grown up in a culture where people in and out your house to help you clean up, to talk about you while they help you clean up, that, Miss Mary is an alcoholic on the weekend, so you take her kids. I I'm curious about how we can be in the practice of being with what is and not want to be with what is, and try to figure out how we can create spaces that are not with what is, that we can figure out a language that we keep finding more words, how we figure out how not to be together, how we can be irritated with each other. I come from a world where, irritation is a privilege. I mean, you get, that understood complexity. You complex. You a bitch and you a saint. Who don't know that? Who don't know? Those of us that have children, mommy, you're the best, bitch. You the stupidest thing on the planet. And let me list all the ways that you destroyed my life. I'm concerned about us because it is not my understanding that we can create connection and from silos. Community is vulnerability. The only way you can be together and be safe is not to be together. How am I gonna learn if I can't fuck up? How can we be together if you can't fuck up? What are we gonna do? I'm concerned about us. The Spirit said, particularly some of you younger ones, what's coming, if you can't eat out of the same pot with somebody that gets on your nerve, you might be short. You might be short. If you haven't figured out how to, we come in these spaces and we share our heart and we do all the deep shit. You got some phone numbers? You developing the kind of relationship that said they're about to cut my lights out? Or maybe the version is maybe folks are operating at the version of your utilities are at risk, but that may be coming. But I'm heartbroken and nobody around me knows me. Because when I first came into this practice, they was talking about stress reduction, and you're going to feel so much better. We got some MBSR for your ass, and you're going to be able to just, I guess what, be more skillful about being oppressed or oppressing. Is that what we doing? I'm on fire you on Friday, but are we gonna be hard? I mean, all they laying off all these people, half-ass severance packages, but I'm connected because I got a mindfulness person over here to make me feel better that we didn't cut off your health benefits when your baby is sick. They fucking with this dharma. And I roll with this community because my experience of the community, we ain't doing that. Whatever else hell we doing, we ain't doing that. So what else did I want to say? Suspicion. There's what is this? Some Astrid, Milena, maybe some of y'all went to African American Studies class. What the Lynch letters? Okay, so there was this dude named Lynch, and he said, "How do we keep these Black people from getting together? What are we going? What are the strategies we have to do? See, we in this culture, the indigenous people and the Black people are the canaries in the coal mine. Didn't nobody give a fuck with crack. Now we got an opioid epidemic. And he said, "What you gonna do? How we gonna do? Oh, We're going to take some in the house and put some in the field. We're going to play color games. We want to keep you separated, different. Make you suspicious of each other. Because while you doing this, you forget the person in the big house, you know. We destroying each other all over Facebook and Twitter. And Elon Musk is living his best life. And I'm going, what are we doing? What are we arguing about? I come from a universe, if you don't like it, shit, don't do it. How about that? You know, don't be running up on Eric talking about Ayesha. She nice, but she cussed too much. Don't come. See, that's how that works. That's how grown people do. If it's not for you, don't do it. In the olden days, before we could put people on blast, or in fact, do like somebody in this community gave me a call. I went, for real? Okay, well, let's straighten that shit out, and we straighten that shit out, and there you go. Suspicion. Let's make us suspicious of each other. We all grown, okay? We've been fucked over. We've probably fucked over other people. People say we've been unskillful. Okay, the person we were skillful with may not have felt that we were being unskillful. They may have felt like they were fucked over. I'm just saying, or at least hurt. Okay, I'm just supporting shamelessness so we can be together, because we can't be together if we faking practice. You know, Lama Rod and Lama Justin, they piss and shit just like everybody else. You know, the teachings are beautiful. Please don't fall in love with the teacher. See, I've been in cults. That's how I can tell y'all how this shit work, right? We don't connect with each other. All right, it's like the spoke on the wheel, okay? Except the spokes, on the wheel, like there's an outer wheel that connects the spokes. But how it works in a cult is the spokes don't connect outside. Everything is leading into the middle. And then be mad at them, or hell, be mad at me because we turn out to be human. What a shock. You know. That's I just wanted to share before I invite y'all to talk. Because there's a workaround that all of us do. The thing I like about my stage of life, I can tell on myself because nobody can tell on me. Okay? And I've done a lot of workarounds, and I'm good with it. There's the workaround of, and it's all about, do I want to be free or this? That doesn't mean staying with something you don't want to stay with, but it's just like, I made a decision instead of being mad. So there's the you didn't fill in the blank shit, maybe it's pronouns. Okay. And I believe in pronouns, but I believe in them because I love Milena. Milena is they. That's the end of it. I don't have to read a book. We don't have to have a deep conversation about gender studies because, see, that's how that works. See, I care about you. That's how that works. And maybe I mispronounce, and Milena gonna say, maybe they'll say, now maybe because they know I care about them. We got a fucking relationship, okay? I'm worried about this stuff because folks are reading about fragility and bringing, I'm not going to say my perspective because I'm the only one talking shit. We all grown. Okay. So it's like that Princess and the Pea stuff, right? So we're sitting here and you got all them mattresses. Connection, love. You know me, Laura. I got your phone number. We talk shit. All of this. So when stuff get, okay, Laura, you doing that? But she's going, okay, Ayesha. we got this mattress or this connection that we both resting on. And so there's no, ooh, 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 because it can be a rock under there. Hell, it can be a boulder under there. But we're resting on this fluffy connection. So when we go, girl, let's have a conversation. Or maybe here's another thing. Sometimes we are the way we are. Shit. That's like asking me, Ayesha, don't curse. Don't do that. Don't, you know, right? This, even if you don't like it, you don't curse. I get it. See, in the planet that I'm from, that's how it happened. You know, you know. Eric, don't talk fast. That ain't happening. That's Eric. That's the sweetness of Eric. What? Don't be you. What the fuck we doing? That's right. You fabulous, baby. You just, I'm just saying. What the Dharma is to develop the capacity to be with each other in our true fucking selves. That's it. And to be with the world. I'll say one more thing, except probably not, but I'm a Black woman of a certain age from a certain culture, so that's how that goes. But people died this week. People got shot this week. People get shot. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. Are we doing a hierarchy of how people die? And they are. I mean, the system. So, what is the purpose of that? Let's look at that Lynch letter. What is that supposed to do? Are we supposed to be checking on each other to who care about the people that got killed today in a particular kind of way? I'm not talking about compassion. I say that. I don't know why Black people always got to say shit like that, but because we hard, particularly Black women, because of a certain age, I have been told, Ayesha, hello. Why are you making me say hello, bitch? I didn't make you say hello. I said hello. I like to smile. I fought to smile all the goddamn time about everything. It is not, you got to smile. That's a workaround. Okay, looking for ways not to be together. Not saying don't make decisions. I'm just saying I'm familiar with workarounds. The workaround of you disappointed me. That's what we do. We human. I know I said I was going to do it. I meant it when I said it. Probably. It didn't happen. How can we grow? Every movement I've been in, and I've been in a lot of, have fallen apart because we say we're going to do something different and bring the same goddamn metrics right in. Like we don't know we broke down. Just being aware of shit is wearing. This is the Dharma wants us to be free. It does not. And by the way, I'm just saying, do what you want to, because everybody's wrong, but you can skip over some of this bullshit. Do you have to investigate everything? You can be free without reading another book. Just saying. My grandmother managed it. Okay. I'm glad y'all are reading. I'm not anti-reading, but I'm just saying, maybe call somebody up and cook together. Work on your toenails that you've been ignoring, whatever. Because it's a pull. Again, only we know when we in the groove and when we faking the funk. Okay. I'm just encouraged. I'm fulfilling my responsibilities as a crone. Um, Nicola Estes talks about I'm working on being a dangerous old woman, you know, and danger. Some of y'all have read her stuff, the book Dangerous Old Woman, inviting you into the protection. I'm trying to protect you. That's why the patriarchy don't fuck with us. You know, that's why they don't like us. I'm inviting you into the protection, into the truth. You free. Now you just got to make choices. I'm not saying, you know, the most dangerous sentence in the world. It's a woman. It's a girl. That's the most dangerous sentence in the world. It's a girl. Maybe followed by, if you're a little boy and start switching, whatever. But the most dangerous, it's a girl. I would invite you to move like you precious. For real, for real. Not practice for real. For real, for real. Like, no, I can't. Or even better yet, no, I choose not to. I don't, part of being a grown, part of sitting on this crone throne that I sat my ass on, built and sat on, is that we can move from choice. It's not a conversation. That's what I learned from the dangerous old women before me. It's not necessarily a conversation that I got to. I was young. I was trying to convince people of shit. See, I don't feel well. I'm gonna keep going till I have evidence that you will, you know, standing before a judge I created in a courtroom I built, leading my case. The cold-blooded thing is when you find out the Dharma said that was just you, baby. That was just you. I mean, people planted that in your head. That's why you had it there, but that's just you. I want to recognize that this path can feel lonely as fuck. Them MBSR mindful people, this is going to relieve your stress. Well, it's this path, but my Buddhist path, not that, but it has relieved me from suffering. And in some cases, it has increased my pain. That's the truth as I have experienced it. To discover that people you share blood with and heart with love you a particular kind of way and boundaries. And that's just the truth as I have experienced it. And that frees me, but it's also painful. So anyway, I want to hear from y'all, but I don't know, some of y'all don't have older people. You didn't have my advantages to sit under people born in 1902, you know, and have older people to talk to you that's not mad at you, because, that's a thing, or jealous of you. That shit can get toxic. I'm trying to, some of my, some of the folks around my age are deeply problematic because you don't have to grow as you age. You can just get older. So anyhow, so I hope some of that has been supportive. That's why I do this, continue to do this. As mom and them used to say, as long as I have health and strength. So yeah, so I want to thank the creator of Zoom thank their mother, getting them together so we could be doing this illegal revolutionary work. Okay.
Thank you, Ayesha.
You're welcome, baby. And I fed y'all, now feed me. This is sustainability. Don't be sitting there. I need to eat too.
I don't know what I can feed you, but that courthouse stuff was magic. And yeah, I thought I left the courthouse and I just walked into a different one. So that's a thing.
So, yeah, I needed to hear this tonight. Um, I've been working remotely for 3 years since the pandemic started, and I'm working remotely now pretty much permanently. And last week I went back into my office for 3 days, and whew, it was something. And I left like at the end of the week, I metabolized, I processed, but I left like thinking, how am I going to protect myself better next time I go in? And I don't think that that's wrong. I do think I need to be more mindful when I'm in my workspace. But this also reminded me that I just need to show up, and I need to be there sometimes, even if it's hard. Like working remotely is a gift for me, but it also can keep me isolated from others if I'm not careful. And yeah, um, that and then this also like just encourages me. One of the things I've been doing, there's a song by this group called the Highwaymen. It's some country singers that got together, and they have a song called about always having a crowded table. And I always want to have people over and have a crowded table, but my house is too damn messy. And my husband is like a collector, semi hoarder, so everything's always chaos. And I always kind of have let that get in the way, and I just stopped. I've been having people come over even when the house is a mess, and it's been really joyful to do that. And so again, just like letting down some of these things, that like staying, I don't know, vulnerable, and not letting my own perception of what I should or shouldn't do in order to be able to have community. Like I can't have people over unless my house is perfect. No, that's bullshit. And they can judge me. It's okay. More than likely, they're not going to. Anyway, thank you very much, and it's really good to be here with all of you. It makes me happy. Thanks.
Thank you, baby. Good to see you.
Hi, this is Elizabeth. Hi, Miss Ayesha. Thank you for doing
Mhm.
this for our community. Um, I just got to benefit from another Boomy community moment. And there was something I was thinking about. Um, I had a strong reaction yesterday when I was in community with a couple people towards one person. And at the beginning of this week, I attended an event that I really didn't like. So, a message is going to come because I didn't like it and I didn't like the message. And this card that I got at this event says, the power is never over another, it is always over your own mind. Um, and that is just speaking to me because I know in this situation, um, I'm in my own courthouse.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
That's what's up. This is all here. This is my experience. This is what's happening. It's happening over here for me. And I'm building some harsh conditions. But I did have a thought last night, which was cool because I think I'm just tired of myself. I was like, God damn it, excuse my language. I said, I'm not gonna second arrow myself over this. Like, I'm just not doing it tonight. You know, and I wobble and waver with it. But the other reason why I brought this card out is that something I'm growing in, I think, being woven into this community and weaving with you all is really just, and I have to keep on cracking at it, like knocking down that hierarchy in my mind that I'm always better than or worse than someone else. You know, like if they're right, I've got to be wrong. If they're okay, then that must mean that I'm not, because I'm not like them. Because difference means either I'm okay or someone else is okay, but it can't be both of us. And just trying to open up space in myself and for others to have needs and resources, and figure out how I can stay in that for myself while staying open to that space, that spaciousness, so that it's not one over another. Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to share this because it's so, having misused so many spiritual practices. As Flo Kennedy said, a Black feminist in the 70s, the problem people have with me is I know the difference between shit and chocolate. So I would encourage folks not to be trying to figure out how they can be more mindful in shit, right? The discernment is shit and chocolate. What's for me, what's not for me. Not saying anybody here, but I over this time of teaching, I have people just turning themselves inside out. And I'm going, is that for you? Is that because I'm encouraging us, at least for me, I'll speak for myself. I need shit to be supportive. Okay, I don't need to be trying to put I'm ex-military. I already been to boot camp. I'm not trying to, this must be good because it hurts. This practice brings pain. We don't have to worry about, I'm not gonna get enough reps in. Let me be over here in this shit. I just wanted to be, because I have misused the spiritual path in order to be all right in shit, in order to decorate myself, make it pretty in there, and then congratulate myself about how I can be so skillfully imprisoned. So I do want to share that, because sometimes we can fall in love with that idea of this really hurt, but I really let you keep hitting me in my face. I personally believe in self-defense, but I don't know. But I do want to, don't, so please don't, again, that other workaround, because everything is this supporting my freedom? Anyway, okay, thank you, Elizabeth, because that's what you brought up, for me. So thank you. Okay. Come on, y'all. Somebody say something. I like your voice. Yes. Hey, girl.
I've got something simplistic and something a little less simplistic. And maybe it's not so simplistic, but I'm really grateful that people in this community are okay with like just showing up from like lying in bed, you know, because I was tired this evening. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this community is fine with that. So like I can put my camera on and I can like be real about that, right? Which is like a huge relief in some ways, right? Yeah. But the other part I wouldn't really want recorded. Is that all right to not record it? Or is this like not one where we could stop the recording?
I'm
Eric's
happy to do
stopping the
that.
recording.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Just let me know when you would like us to start the recording again.
Okay, thanks.
So I just wanted to mention one of my most influential Dharma teachers, who's not a Dharma teacher, Don Miguel Ruiz, who teaches from the indigenous Toltec tradition, that says something so perfectly Dharma. He says in the Toltec tradition, the belief is that we're basically all living in the dream of the planet, the dream of the planet. And I was connecting that with what you were talking about earlier, Ayesha, but also I'm not going to really be able to articulate how this really came to me, but you were talking about your intentional smile and how that's for you. And for me, that's because you're creating your dream. If being embodied means that I'm going to be dreaming, I'm going to be as awake as I can, but I'm going to create my own dream. Right? But for me, the complication and I'm not sure I can exactly say why this is. It's really just been since I've been disabled. For me, the complication is the noise of all the dreams when I go into the world and just hearing some people all dreaming in this concert that I don't agree with, and other people dreaming in their individual ways, and just all this dreaming going on. It just feels very noisy and exclusive. And of course, I have to acknowledge that then if that's what I'm hearing and that's what I'm focusing on, then I guess that's the dream of the planet that I'm creating for myself. That's the courtroom I'm building. But it's hard, right? It's hard to be awake to all that dreaming that people, because when you pierce their silos, when you say something or when you do something, or you observe something that isn't consistent with this dream they're creating, people don't like that. It's not a friendly world for truth tellers. It's not a friendly world for people who, I don't want to say people who don't fit the dream, but for people who insist on being who they are, regardless of what your dream is. So I actually think that my energy, Marianne was talking about energy, my energy, I wake up in the morning, I definitely have to ramp up to get into the day. and then it kind of ebbs and maybe flows throughout the day. But Thursday is usually just like, you know what? I can't do this shit anymore day. I've done the things that I have to do. I've done everything I need to do to try to kick my ass and make my body work the best it can. I'm trying to take care of it. And today, there's a whole bunch of shit inside of me that is so angry that you're doing that again. Why are you doing that again? It's painful. So Friday is just like a energy will not come. It will be like, fuck you. Don't you dare try to summon me. I might actually be in here, but you don't deserve me today. So I just have to respect it and go, all right. I don't know why it's Thursday. It'll be better on Friday. But that's what it is on Thursday. So sometimes you just have to be with, that's not necessarily what I would call my dream. It's my, this energy is a reality. I mean, it's there or it's not. That's a reality if you're living in a body. But I have to deal with my dream while all that's going on, right?
That's, see, I did say this path was painful, right? This is the price of freedom. Harriet Tubman is a bodhisattva, and I praise her and hold her. She on my altar. But there was so many that died on the way to freedom. We America, we like the happy ending, But whether they got 1 foot out or 10 miles out or got to Philadelphia and got caught, they died free. See, that's the point. We all dying, so we don't have to worry about the dying part. For me, the point is to die free. To die, oh, that's right. This is, the hair coming out of my head as it comes out naturally is a trigger for this culture. I have certain benefits, right? I have several hundred years of lineage of not being able, that my presence is a problem. What would they have done to Elvis if he had gotten darker and darker and had plastic surgery to make his nose bigger and bigger? What would we call that? And why wasn't that a problem as Michael Jackson became lighter and lighter and his nose became more narrower? I understand the price of freedom. That's the price of the ticket. The other thing is, even when you compromise, some of y'all, my grandma, I'll tell you my grandmother saying, Bertha Lovett Evans, when you think of this, you can bring her to mind. You can't make a deal with the devil because he never keeps his word. Some of y'all already have experienced that. Because he never keeps his word. So, might as well be on the road to freedom, getting hit by stuff. And, people talking about you not shit and you used to be, you back in the day, you were this, and how your child turned out versus the other people's children. How, if only you had made the right decision. And for me, the gift of Dharma is, all of that is in here, saying that shit. Well, let me let y'all go. Because at least for me, it's important not even to, I think I said this in Atlanta, there's a point when investigation becomes self-indulgence. That's the workaround, right? All right, let me be unhappy. Okay, let me pretend like the sun isn't shining on my ass, like I don't have a mask on a ventilator. Over 1 million people died. I'm breathing without help. Let me not, let me, let me not be with that, because that's some pedestrian shit. But I think that's what this Dharma is. So I know this is colonizer time. I don't respect the colonizer, but I do respect those of us that have to live within it. But I think, Eric, can you grant me another 5 minutes or so if something is on somebody's heart?
So I apologize for the confusion. I was sitting in until 8:30,
Okay.
but I just speaking for myself.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, good. I don't.
Because I don't want to oblige anyone either.
Okay. No. And I encourage people when I guide. If you go to sleep on me, I consider that a great compliment that your body is feeling like I can release a little. So come on in. We got time. We don't have to do that. What is that thing they always say? Not take up too much space. With this population, I don't think we have to worry about people taking too much space, because most of us has been trained to be lean of expression. I hate that damn term. Anyway.
I like to say something. Hi.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's been lovely to hear you all share. Some things that come to mind. This weekend I volunteered to host my mom's birthday. And my relationship with my family is pretty, yeah, it depends. Depends on which level of maybe courthouse I'm in or whatever, but it's I want to not just live in my comfortable silo, and I want to be present for my cousin's kids, and I want them to have, you know, queer presence in their lives. And yeah, I just thank you for reminding me about the courthouses that I create for myself, and that, that it's a gift to be able to host my mom's birthday, and I'm like really excited to do that. And of course she wants to micromanage it and wants to buy all the things and I'm like, can you fucking let me host your birthday, please? Can you do that? And like, can I not, get hooked on all those things? And like, because I'm like, oh well, she doesn't think I'm able to host her birthday, and she doesn't think I'm whatever, and it's not that anyway. Thank you for the reminder, and I feel actually a lot calmer about hosting the birthday, so thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here.
Straight.
I've been trying to I'm in and out trying to eat. Worked right up until 7. So excuse me, I'm not trying to be antisocial. I'm here. Just trying to feed myself at the same time. But yeah, I was just thinking about what you said, Laura, and like pretty much everything you said was like skillful. It was like skills. And you probably don't look at it that way, but I think the whole world needs, I mean, for want of a better term, like disabled wisdom, because, I mean, the trauma, like recent trauma from the pandemic, trauma from like even before that. I think, I mean, speaking for myself, but, just seeing it everywhere that people need skills around like navigating expectations, and priorities when capacity is limited. And that comes from like, and people with disabilities have like all of that wisdom. And like all of us who are, differently abled need that wisdom, So I'm like waiting for that. I'm just kind of like, where is it? Because I need it, because I never had that anyone to like pass that wisdom down to me. So I just wanted to say that. And yeah. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Astrid. It's always good to see you. And by the way, I was chowing. You might have missed it. I was chowing. We were chowing together.
Yeah. Being real is not antisocial. I don't know how that got to be a thing, but yeah.
Hey y'all. I just wanted to say hi. Mostly, I'm really tired. It's been a gift to sit here and listen to you. And as most of you who have known me over the years, I actually don't have anything to say. Just a weird thing. But just I love you.
Thank you. Yes, look at this. Mm.
Like Liz, I'm also like usually have a million things to say and I don't right now. Just a lot of gratitude for being here. We had a uprooting whiteness group before this and I left feeling really rich from that and coming like I'm all in the bank right now. Banked up, resourced up, bathed up, feeling really good. So good to see you smile and laugh, Ms. Ayesha and everybody here. I'm just really grateful for my health. I just got done having a 2-week flare up of chronic illness and my cat got very sick and almost died. And so it's just like, yeah, feeling super gratitude all around. Mega rich. Thank you. And I love the call, Ayesha, for real community and authenticity and building that kind of real connection. It's Andy here. I just moving around. It's Andy talking. Are you listening for me?
You're a little muffled, Andy.
Yeah, Andy, you're muffled.
Oh, I'm muffled because I'm laying on my AirPods. Silly me.
Okay.
Anyway, I just really like the call for non-performativeness, authentic community, being here for each other. If we were all like in the same neighborhood, I would love to like come into anybody's house and clean out that crappy closet that you haven't been getting to, and we could just chat about whatever's going on. And I still haven't figured out how to do that in these forums, but Ayesha, you've been mentioning it in the Crone Diva group. And so sometimes when I'm doing chores, I'm like, hey, I'm doing chores. If anyone else is doing chores. But anyway, I just miss that kind of connectivity of like having like open doors and neighbors walking through. And that's just so missing from anyway, my life. And I suspect so many other people's lives under this, burden of white supremacist patriarchy that we're all suffering in.
Yeah. I'm going to shout out Laura again around the chronic illness, disabilities. Laura said, I've had fibromyalgia, been on a cane, but disabled? Who, me? So coming in contact with that over and over again throughout my conversations with her have been a blessing. I smile through my shit because that's the portal of my, but because it's almost it's also rebellious because again, part of the white supremacy is that in order for a colored person to get something, you got to be pitiful. You got to perform Uh, so yeah, so but I want to shout out the power. And most of the planet got shit going on. This fake ass health model that we're being sold. Thank that I did the research after talking to Laura. When just was like, oh yeah, most people on the planet are working with stuff in their body. You know, and particularly as adults. And now, unfortunately, more and more children. But yeah, I want to give a shout out for that. And Astrid, what did you say, Astrid? The sensibilities, disabilities, sensibilities, that awareness. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Can I just take a minute to trash capitalist medicine?
Please do, girl, because that's your favorite thing, one of your favorite things to do. So, go.
I can't hold it in. So in 2019, I found out about this device that was it's a neurostimulator that was being developed to help people with the conditions like I have. And of course, it's going through the pipeline and it has to go through trials, and then it finally gets FDA approval. And now, late 2022, 2023, it's FDA approved, and physical therapists can use it and patients can use it. So I'm having a hard time figuring out how to get access to this. I really want to get it. It's designed specifically to try to enhance neural rehabilitation for people like me. So finally, I get somebody on the phone, and the device has two components. There's, I don't know, like what you would call, has the programming that costs $4,985 discounted that you can buy now that it's FDA approved as a patient with the chronic illness. And it works for 12 weeks, after which you can't use it anymore. And then there's this other thing that's a mouthpiece. You have to have this in your mouth. And that also only works for 12 weeks. But if you buy in at this special discounted price of the $4,985, you can get a second mouthpiece after 12 weeks for only $895 that will also last 12 weeks. So this is what FDA approval does for you. It basically means people can sell you. It's been commercially approved. It does not mean that it's going to be useful to people who are ill. That is what FDA approval actually means. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Something that people used to say in my community a lot is, and I say it, stop playing. Don't play with me. Stop.
I just feel called. My sister's cat, Ella, who was close to 20 years old, and she was a wily old queen. And she would just scream at the top of her lungs for no reason a lot. But she was euthanized this morning, and Ella was a very important being in the system, you know? Yeah, so just like send her some flowers. Thank you. And some flowers to my sister who feels like she's lost a limb.
Yes.
And for all people feeling anything remotely similar.
So I'm curious about anybody want to share about how they're being held in all of this awareness, in this knowing. What are the sources that are holding you up, particularly when you're feeling broke down?
The way I am held is that I know that I have a Dharma sister I can call, and I know that I have daily practice partners that I can visit, hopefully at least twice a week, and I have community weaving I can show up for. And there's just other people that, as others have said better than I, that are here for this space that is just going to be for what's real, not for what you want to perform.
For me, as trite as it sounds, it is the practice. You know, when I felt overwhelmed and grief stricken yesterday, I just knew what I needed. You know, I think that's also how I resource, is practicing, recognizing what I'm needing, you know, and that's something, you know, like we've been talking about, the spectrum of ability and access to engage and meaningfully in the world. You know, I've learned my lessons also around taking breaks and rest and food and the sun, you know, from difficulties with physical recovery. And yeah, so it's these communities and And even, yeah, and the homecomings, the practices, my grandmother, my teachers, the earth, so I feel the smile in it. I feel the smile through the tears. For sure. Yeah. And then I went and bought myself a bag of cookies. Because, they were delicious.
Mm.
I'll share. So, like Elizabeth said, 7 homecomings, like all of those, I feel like I have just an abundance of things that are holding me right now. Um, but one of the things that has been really precious has been there's a little wooded area in my suburban neighborhood. I've been spending a lot of time there. And so I feel very held by not just that, like those woods, um, but like that wildness that's like coming up through the cracks of what I like call this suburban delusion. And anyway, just I love it and I feel very held by it. I can like physically be there. It's just, when I'm in my house, I can think about it. So yeah, being held by the wildness.
Mm. 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 Yes. Oh, yeah. Mm. Yes, yes. Mm.
Something that I'm allowing more to hold me is boundaries.
Mm.
'Cause I've always struggled with that and wanted to resist them or blow them up or whatever. Um, but especially this week, been finding how supportive it's been to say no to things and um to not to just so the containment has been really supportive. Yeah.
Well, in some spaces we do a prayer board, but I wonder if as we move into not leaving each other, but the end of this particular illegal action that we got going on, if you feel comfortable, we've heard voices, bringing in some being that's on your heart to share in some of this goodness. I want to bring in Latasha Harris. Let her life be a bit more brightened by those of us that have gathered here.
I want to bring in Justin, my partner, who I get more and more excited about living life with.
I'm gonna bring in my beloved sister, aunt, friend, Pam.
I'm bringing in my beloveds as well, especially my partner and my daughter.
I'm bringing in my neighbor, Barbara, who decided she was going to shovel my driveway and my walks yesterday.
I'm bringing in my cousin sister, Tanya, who's maybe finally going to have a baby after 12 years of struggle. I'm bringing in my dear friend Vitali, who I felt conflict with yesterday. And I offer some benefit of this to them in reciprocity for all the openness and love they offer me.
I'm bringing in my siblings, particularly my sister Julie and my stepbrother Jason. They both could use a little more light for different reasons.
And I'm feeling called to voice Miriam, bringing in my mama who died 26 years ago, as of 2 days ago, Trisha Riley Hall. So maybe just rest in the care and the love and the support we have for each other and for others. And may the joy, whether it's infused with tears or laughter and everything in between, may that energy, that vibration connect us to ourselves and each other in this space. And all that will be with us on the recording, may all of that energy move out, touching all beings and all realms. Awakening all of us to the truth that we are free. May it be so. Ashe, Amen, Namo Amida Butsu, Namaste. So we're going to stop the recording. For the gift. Thank you. What a blessing. What a blessing. You know, look at this. Look at us being all disruptive together. You know, I'm just saying, please appreciate yourselves and us, because everybody ain't able. Okay? Everybody ain't able. So please take care. Take us with you. Don't be in these streets alone trying to pretend nobody cares about me. Okay. The devil is a liar. Okay. Please take care.
That's one of my favorite things you say. That should be on the recording. That's the recording.
Yes. That's it.
I love that. Thank you.
For the
Thank
record,
you so much for
don't
holding
trust the
space.
devil because the devil is a liar.
Exactly.